Hi, this is Gina with Gina's Crafting Spot on YouTube. This is my 28th scrapbooking video, process video. And today I am working on using that little kit that you just saw. Moment Captured, I think it's called. And it was in my haul video that I did not too long ago. I got it from Hobby Lobby. So I'm using that pretty bubble star paper, and I am going to be scrapping some pictures from when I went out with my girlfriend when I was in Texas last year, and we went to a kind of like a concert dance kind of thing. So there I just took some shiny grayish black paper that I had in my stash and just cut out the middle so I could use it later. And I just cut down that bubble piece a little bit so I could have a little frame around it. And those are the photos I'm going to be using. And the people we went to see, the band is, or the person is David Lee Garza, and it was really fun. And they're kind of like old school, like a Tejano band, I guess it would be, I think. But I don't know. I went to high school I lived in Laredo, Texas from about 7th grade to first year of college. So maybe 7 years. So those were, like, for me, the most important years because it's when, I was a teenager and stuff like that. So we would always go to dances and, there would always be concerts and stuff like that. And I just love, music, and I don't know, it was super fun. So, well, I'll get back to that. I had mounted those photos. I thought I was going to use different paper, and I decided to switch it up. So I just, ripped off the paper and decided to mount it on this pretty diagonal stripe paper. Again, from that same little scrapbook kit I got. I'm just trimming everything down and cutting them out. I love that little box cutter. It just cuts so crisp and never leaves any jagged edges or anything. So pretty much the whole layout is going to be used using that little kit. Nothing, I don't think much more except some little embellishments later on. So I'm just inking the edges with some black ink. Hope it stands out a little bit more. And the pictures are really dark. That's why I kind of liked that beigey yellow background with the designs. So that's why I chose that. And I kept cutting crooked, so I had to keep, trimming it down some more, but that's okay. I'm going to cover up that middle anyway. So just adding little bits and pieces, as you could see. So yeah, we went to go see David Lee Garza when I was in San Antonio. So my girlfriend, I had heard on the radio because I drove, from the airport, and I rented a car and stuff like that. So I was listening to the radio, and I loved it because it was, like Tejano music that I hadn't heard in forever, and it was just awesome. And I heard that David Lee Garza was going to be at, some club. I don't even remember the name of it, but they were going to be there, and it was only $20 a person to get in. I'm like, wow, we gotta go. So I told my girlfriend, and she's like, yeah, I'm up for it. So, sorry. So yeah, we decided to go there that Friday night when I got in, and well, I don't know if it's funny or not, but okay, so I called my cousin because she, lives out there in San Antonio as well, and we're like, oh, we're going to see David Lee Garza. Do you want to join us? And she's like, oh, well, I'll let you know, because, she had stuff going on maybe, I thought. And then we call her and we're like, okay, we're going to go. It's only $20 and it's going to be here, blah, blah, blah. She's like, oh, no, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to come. So, we end up going and, everything's fine. We didn't, people were dancing and stuff, but we didn't. Um, I'm married, so I'm not going to go be dancing. And my girlfriend just didn't, she's not, we're not really the party goers kind of people, but we just went, and it's so cool because when you go to those kinds of places, they have the dance floor, but then a lot of people stand right in front, so it's like a concert, really awesome. And that is what we sat really close, and you can see there, I'm just memories captured, it's called. And there I'm just cutting apart the main piece of that shows all the pieces that are in the kit. And I just trim some of them out, just like using, pen or paper. So I thought that was kind of ingenious on my part. That way I don't have to waste my full sheets. And this is a smaller design and stuff like that. So I just cut them all, and you'll see what I'll do with them. Make little banners and stuff like that. So yeah, I thought that was kind of clever. So back to my story. So, it's really cool. It's like you're at a real concert, and you don't pay for concert prices, and you get to be right up there, and just totally awesome. So then we had fun. We just had maybe a margarita or two. That's about it. And um, when it was over, we left. And then the next day, we went to my cousin's house, or one of my cousin's house. Two of them live there in San Antonio. So we went to my cousin's house, and I'm like, why didn't you want to go, Sat? It was fun and blah, blah, blah. She's like, you didn't have any problems? I'm like, no, why would we have any problems? She's like, well, she's like, because that's not, the best neighborhood, and there's fights there and stuff. I'm like, Sat, why didn't you tell us that it was a bad neighborhood? And she's like, well, I thought your friend, lives here, so I thought she knew. And I was like, oh my gosh, we could have gotten killed that night. And I'm like, Lisa, next time tell me. She's like, well, I thought your friend, knew the area and blah. I'm like, no, she never goes out, so she didn't know anything. Um, but luckily there were no fights there. It was all, older people, like my age, like in the 40s. There wasn't a lot of young folks for this band, I guess, and that's why, because he's, an old time band, old school. And yeah, so I was like, oh my gosh, we could have gotten we could have gotten killed that night. But yeah, no. So I'm like, so that's why you didn't go. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh, next time tell me. Because yeah, Bernice had no idea either that it was a bad neighborhood. And we didn't have any issues, so I guess, we should be grateful for that. But yeah, so there's my story that goes along with our little concert thing. But yeah, I had a ton of fun with them. I missed my family a lot, but it was nice to, reconnect and being out there, just even San Antonio, because then I drove to Laredo. Um, it just brings back memories of your teenage years, and I don't know, it's just nice. Very, very nice to get back, and you remember things, and the music, you don't have that kind of music over here in Chicago, so it's just different, and I really, really had a good time. Next time it'll probably be a family thing because, I don't feel right leaving. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see when we go back. So you see there, those pieces I cut out, I just, made little banner pieces and just using that as a, yeah, some design on the paper. And I inked all the edges with the black. And there I'm just trying to keep a variety of colors. And the letters I'm using for David Lee Garza, which is the band we saw, which, it's the guy and then the band. And that was, what were they? I did them ahead of time. Oh, it's from that same pack. Yeah. So I just put them on I spelled it out on some wax paper. So that way, I could move it around. And I decided to just put it on, those decorative pieces that I added. And you can't see it too well right now, but in person, it's, the title does stand out. So, Yeah, so this is a simple layout. It took me like 50 minutes, but that's because I was kind of indecisive and watching TV at the same time, so you know how that goes. I get distracted. And again, that little dot that I put in the little square in the bottom right, that was just from that same sticker pack that came in the kit. And those are just some stars, wood grain and glitter stars. The glitter stars I got from, excuse me, from the expo. So I don't really, they're not really a brand or anything. They're just in the dollar bin. So I got those, and then the stars and stuff I think are Studio Calico maybe. But I just decided to add some stars because they are stars, right? So I thought, and it matched the background paper, so I thought this was, you know, the perfect place to use them. And then I put a little a man down there, the bottom right, just a potty person for David Lee Garza. Even though it was a different person singing, I don't know if it's always been that way, but he was just playing the accordion, so I don't know. You know, because those are really old school people. Yeah, and that was that sticker sheet. So I'm just adding little thingies and using glossy accents in that zip line, or zip, no, the fine line bottle. And touching the little potty person. Simple layout. And I'm going to do my journaling on the back because it's, you know, I want to tell the whole story so that way I could laugh later. And, you know, I didn't want to take up all the space on the front. Or I might right there on the right. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but yeah, that's about it. So I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you at the next video. Bye.